So what's up guys, today we're gonna talk about the Jaws pistol. I have made this spreadsheet. We got all the relevant weapons. Example 12 bingo, bingo wildfire, corrosion bingo, Jaws bingo, bingo doombrigger and melee tank build. If you have some experience, feel free to skip the video and you can just go to the spreadsheet and you can just copy it. If you have any question and if you are new to the game, then you can watch the video. So let's talk about the key fail. To make things simple, you just do instant damage 100% of your PSI. And it has a radius of 1.5 meters. If you look at the pistol, every 4 hits trigger unstable bomber. So for example, if rapid crit rate calibration, then it's gonna be so good. A critical hit grants +1 to the hit count. So you will do base damage and base crit damage, and on top of it you will do crit unstable bomber damage and unstable bomber damage as well. So there's a chance, it depends on your status, for crit rate, crit damage and weapon damage. It in a weak spot grants 30% blast damage for 8 seconds. You will do 30% more unstable bomber damage for 8 seconds when you hit weak spot. But in PvP, you're not gonna hit weak spot most of the time. So unstable bomber can land critical hits with 25% crit rate. Like I said, you can do unstable bomber crit damage with this Jaws pistol. So let's talk about the armor pieces we're gonna use. We need to use the Shaman Vulture top, the key armor, then we're gonna use Force Savior. Then it just depends on your personal preference. Either you go Shelter or you can go Ride. This one gives 15% status damage reduction, this one gives 10% weapon damage reduction. The mods you need for this for PvP is the heavy explosive, but the thing is you will do less damage. Even though it says 40% less damage to you, you will do 40% less damage to them. So there was a lot of bugs with the mods. Hopefully they would fix it. But if you go for something like a reckless bomber, you will do more damage, but you will not do a stagger. When you do 40% less damage to the enemy, you will do basically like 60% of your PSI. It's kinda just make this not really great compared to like wildfire, but still Jaws is really decent for PvP. Then we're gonna talk about the armor mods. We go in deviation expert because we are using the bingo. Like for example, if we use the faithful strike, we can hit weak spot. As it's saying, the weapon hitting weak spot grants 30% blast damage. Even though we're not gonna hit the weak spot, there's a chance we're gonna hit the weak spot and we're gonna lose the damage. Plus you can use the bingo with the deviation expert mod, which gonna gives you fire rate till the end of the mag. It's not like the momentum up, you get like the fire rate plus 10% for the half of the mag, then you're gonna get the weapon damage. But this one gives like 20% status damage and 10% fire rate. The more you hit, the more you do the unstable bomber damage. So fire rate is important. It's not like before, like you can just stack the fire rate buffs like the fish and stuff. The only way is the deviation expert. For the top mode, you go in defensive. I would say resist advantage for open PvP. For the bottoms, we are going Deadshot. This will do crit damage up to 45% for each crit hit. So you will do more crit damage. This is gonna stack. So for the shoots, we are using covered advance, no questions. For the gloves, we are using the crit boost, which gives you 15% crit rate. And for the mass, we need pinpoint strike, which will do 25% damage when you're hitting only an enemy within 1.5 meter radius. So for the substat, you are going crit damage and weapon damage reduction for PvP. You don't need anything else. Crit damage and weapon damage reduction, that's it. So your priority gonna be crit rate, crit damage, that's it. You don't have to worry about elemental or status damage or anything like that. Now we're gonna talk about the Cradle perks. You are going for the pistol, of course. It will give you 50% damage. Then if you use something like a bingo, then it's gonna be the sniper rifle, which gonna give you 15% damage as well. Then if you have rapid air, you're gonna use this for PvP. And then you have tactical combo, which gives you weapon damage for 15%. For example, weapon damage 15% will add to your base damage, which is this. So the higher base damage you have, the higher crit rate gonna be, because crit basically means double damage. Then we got a status enhancement, which gonna give us your 15% status damage for 3 seconds after hitting a weak spot. Like I said, it's kind of like situational, but you just gonna equip this anyway, because there's a chance you might hit a weak spot and you're gonna do so much damage. Then we got deviant energy defense. What this does is, for example, if I go to my mini wonder and you see my health bar, if I summon the mini wonder, I will get a shield. If I remove it, it's gonna stay until I take some damage. Then we got elemental sense. After dealing elemental damage, corresponding elemental damage 25% for 4 seconds. We are going for the explosive bonus, which gonna gives you 5% unstable bomber for 8 seconds up to 5 stack after trigger unstable bomber. Let's talk about the foot buffs. So you're going for the safety sandwich for PvP. You are not going for max HP. Max HP in general is like really bad for PvP. Like for example, I have 13 15k max HP, and even if I go to the war, I'm not gonna use like anything like a canned meat, except going for the rabbit meat on top of the sandwich, which gonna gives you stamina. For the drink, you have two choices. Either you can go for the whimsical drink, which gonna gives you 25% strategy damage, or you can go for the iced tea, which gonna gives you rolling speed and movement speed after rolling. It's kind of on your playstyle. If you like to roll a lot, if you want to do more damage, it's gonna be the whimsical drink. And also ammo affecting your PSI intensity. For example, you will get 15% PSI intensity from a purple ammo. If I go for something like a steel ammo, which gonna gives you 8% PSI, which means you will do less status damage to the enemy. If you go for the golden ammo, which gonna gives you PSI intensity 12% for 3 seconds, which is almost perfect with the shaman top, which gonna gives you crit rate 35% for. So as long as you are hitting the target, you will do crit, and that 12% PSI gonna do so much status damage, but you will do some base damage because you're gonna lose the damage per shot, which will reduce your base damage. So it's kind of like situational. Either if you want to keep your damage like all the time, then you can craft the ammo with the gunpowder. If you want to keep your blast damage high, then you're gonna use the golden ammo. If you're in the Prism server, there's like no point making like golden ammo, except if you're in the Evo server, then you can just only for the wars, which gonna gives you time to farm the gold again. But for the regular use, I would say just use the gunpowder. Then we're gonna talk about the wind poisons. We go in arrow lip, living armor, and you can use this one, which gonna indicate the enemy direction. I used to use the Jaws pistol, but I don't use it anymore because I enjoy the corrosion even more. I have made a guide about the bingo wildfire, and I have made the guide about the corrosion as well. Thanks for watching, and peace out.